This is the Neptune 4 Max by Elegoo, the flagship configuration of the Neptune 4, with an absolutely massive print volume of 420 times 420 times 480 millimeters. Crazy printing speeds of up to 500 millimeters per second, and automatic 121 points bed leveling for a perfect first layer, a high temperature nozzle for the most exotic filaments, and talking about filaments, virtually all types are supported. PLA, TPU, PETG, ABS, ASA, Nylon, you name it. And we also have the newest tech when it gets to the controller. So Wi-Fi, WLAN, LAN as well as USB transfers are possible. It's magnetic, it's awesome. And best of all, right now you can get this amazing 3D printer for the lowest price ever. It is Black Friday, don't miss out. First link in the description. Max, not only for max build volume, but also for max value. So yeah, it looks and sounds amazing, right? But is it actually that good? Well, let's find out. New drip. Got the new drip from Elegoo, the Neptune 4 Max. By the way, if you're interested already, then check out the product links in the description. I will list and link the best deals for you. Yeah, now let's check it out. So that's the box right there. No trampling, delicate on the inside. So let's open it up carefully, right on. So as you can see, it is nicely padded, absolutely nicely padded. That is incredible to see. Look at that, pads everywhere, and very, very thick foam that will guarantee that the transport will not damage any components in any way. So let me remove all of that immediately, as well as that, also that, and the whole gantry as well. So that was the first half, and now down here we have more accessories on the side. The base of the printer. So just like that, I can pull it out. There is also this, and just to be sure, yes, that's it. So as you can see, everything is unwrapped and nicely laid out. So let's start right here. So we have the handle right there, and we can already screw this together like that. Pretty nice. And it will connect to it through here. As you can see, we will also get a build platform glue stick, just in case if you have no first layer adhesion, but this shouldn't be a problem in my opinion, since we have the auto bed leveling. Then we also get a cable for the power outlet for powering the printer. We have the fan header right there with two nice cooling fans with a dedicated on-off switch and the DC 24 volt in. We also have this part right here. Not to forget, we have a really great display with this sticker right here, so check it out. And that's indeed very important with the cable right here. We will also get two of these poles right there, and then also the actual extruder. That's the print head with the nozzle down here, and the complete hot end looks amazing. And we have the insert right here, and we can also manually move the filament. And before we get to the paperwork, we of course have all the small parts right there. So this switch, a USB stick with a spare nozzle for cleaning the nozzle, cable ties, this antenna, this right here, of course all the hex keys and wrenches and screwdrivers, bunch of screws and brackets for putting it all together. We will also get an Ethernet cable and a sample of Rapid PLA Plus. Alright, and lastly we have this notice right here, so it's a bit glary, but this side. And then also this side with the auto leveling. And lastly, we of course have the manual. That's the back right there. So we have page 1, page 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and the last page. So as you saw, there is a lot to it. And now I will go through the setup according to the manual. Oh, and one last thing. As you can see, we also got a few different PLA filament rolls, and we will check them out in detail when we get to the actual test. So let's go through the setup. On the USB drive, we have the setup guide as well as an instruction video, very helpful. So as you can see, putting together the gantry, the extruder, the display, all the sensors, and of course the fan unit. We just have to do a few minor adjustments, and just like that, we are ready to go. So as you can see, I'm done with the setup. If you have a bit of knowledge with a V-slot and mechanical stuff like this is really a walk in the park. One thing that I would like to mention is the fact that these rollers need to be tightened maybe. Down here, right there, it should be visible perfectly. You can move them away or closer to the V-slot rail right there. And a proper way to see if it's tight enough is when you try to turn it and you can barely slide it over the metal. That's a pretty good indicator right there, and it shouldn't wiggle around at all. Done with the unboxing and with the setup, and now let's get to my first impressions and then of course to a close overview. Goes without saying that this is a very large machine. What I really like is this magnetic screen holder. So you can take it, manipulate it, put it back on, really cool. But all in all, it's still a fairly small footprint when you consider the massive build volume. That's just crazy. 1/2 meter in all dimensions, almost. It's crazy. 1/8 of a cubic meter. It's extremely huge. But without going into more of my rambling, let's take a close look. I really like this machine, it's so cool. So right there we have the tensioner for this belt from loose to tight, so that's good. We have all sorts of notes and small print right there, and the build plate right here is also magnetic and you can remove it fairly easily, as you can see. Great for removing large parts, and when you move it for the first time you have to remove these transport locks as well. Now it can move freely. Look at that, amazing. It is super smooth. That's the side of the build right there. Really efficient concept with the stepper and the cable going all the way up to the extruder head. With these 2 screws, when you remove them, you can take this off for maintenance. We have the filament sensor on top, and the cable will connect to the extruder and of course also to the fan unit right there in the back. And I really like the tightening mechanisms for the belts. That's really convenient. Absolutely awesome. So this axis is belt driven as well as the build plate, and the Z axis up and down is powered by the screws, and the whole system as well as the very affordable price point is achieved thanks to these wheel slot rails everywhere. And the design all in all is really nice, great color scheme, nice details right there. Create the future. Yeah, and just like that, in a matter of minutes, we will get a massive build volume for a really, really great price point. Not bad, right? So let's set it all up and then of course test it. So we're plugged in, so let's turn it on. Wow. As you can see, it has its own lights. The fans will power up, and here, of course, we have the display. It will not get affected by the polarizer. That's great to see. We can also remove the cover. So let's go. Absolutely beautiful display, and we're still booting up. We have the Wi-Fi antenna in place, of course. And one thing that I forgot to mention is this little tray right here. Tray goes back in. So let's check out the operating system. So this is our dashboard. We're not homed yet, but down here we have the XYZ values as well as the nozzle and print bed temperature. Right here we have the print, and as you can see, it's a touch sensitive screen. We have print. Here we can check out the files. We have the menu right there. We have the prepare menu where we can move, for example, the Z axis. So when we click this, we can move the axis X and Y axis. Then right here we have this Y and Z as well. The system is currently homing itself. And what I did, I pressed the middle button, so it's now homing all 3 axes. And now when we go back, we actually have the proper values right there. So let's check out the X axis. Let's go to prepare, and X minus 187. 147. So after the homing you will get the precise readouts, but other than that we also have the temperature regulation right there. Here we can also set the working material. PLA, for example, we have automatic presets right there. Very convenient, but we can also turn them off by hand, or we can also manually set the temperature, for example 100, Okay, and now it will, well, for the bed that's a bit much, I guess, but you get the point. Then we also can control the extruder. We can load or unload the filament, and we can also set each value by hand. Perfect control. Then we also have settings right there. Here we can change the language, for example. Many languages. We have the Wi-Fi, so we can connect to our home network. We have the light control. Here we can turn on the headlight, off, on, and also the observation light. Right there. We can also activate fan control. Now all the fans will power on, but let's turn that off again, of course. We can say motor off. Now we can freely move it. Filament detector, we can reset to the factory defaults, and we can check out all the info about the machine. And of course we also have advanced settings. Here we can regulate the backlight seamlessly. We can turn off the sounds when you press something. And we also have detailed calibration settings right there, as well as temperature settings. Here we can change the presets, but all of that should be a-okay. And lastly, we also have the level mode. Here we can choose between standard and professional. And talking about leveling, this will be the next and last step before we can actually start printing. So when we click on leveling, we need to confirm that, and then it will basically guide us through the whole process. For this, we will also need a piece of paper, and the full process, you can check it out right here. It's quite time consuming, but it's not hard. But definitely take your time, because this is an important step. We have the set screws down here. In total, there are 6 of them. So let's go through this process very fast. We just need to pick the right offset, just move it up. When we rotate in this direction, the plate will come down. When we rotate in the other direction, the plate will go up. Okay, so first I would recommend to almost unscrew all of them. This will give you the most room to play, because you will always have to bring the plate down. Not enough, enough, and perfect. By the way, you can also screw off these wheels. It will reveal these writings. Just a fun fact. And that's the last one right there. Perfect. So we can now go back, so we can confirm this right on. For this, the system will heat up because, you know, heat expansion and stuff. And now it will run through all these points. All right, there we go. Our hard work paid off. The rest will be automatic. And as you can see, that will take a few minutes, just like the heating. And then it's gonna be perfect. It's so fast. That's awesome. Right on. And this right here will be the last step. And that's perfect. So we can now save this and confirm. Yeah, and with that said, let's wait for the restart, and then let's start printing. On the USB stick that we got with the printer, we have a few models right there. So all in all 5. Let's start with the 3D Benchy. But before that, we of course need to place filament right there. And I said that this is the handle, but this is obviously the spool holder. As you can see, we have 5 rolls available. So here we have the package. These are all the available colors, and that's really great value PLA right there. They offer great filament as well. And here we have the spool, environmentally friendly with recycled materials. Just great. That's the size and the weight. So there we go. I still need to plug in the sensor. So through the sensor, and check this out, the signal light will react immediately. Then of course into here, you need to go to the prepare, to the extruder, and click on load. Let's wait for it to heat up. Let's move it up a bit. Load. As you can see, we are getting traction, and soon we should get our first extraction. And there we go. That's looking great. Very even thickness. Perfect. So with that said, let's start the print and go. We will even get a preview, and this will only take 19 minutes. That's crazy fast, so let's go. Getting this huge build plate warm will always take a bit of time, but after that it's full speed. Whoa. Oh my goodness. When I say full speed, it really is full speed. And it's also extremely silent. The only thing that I can hear is the fan, or the fans. That is incredible. Powering up the cooling, and as you can see, it's printing incredibly fast. So now I found the perfect position. And what's also cool is you can see the completion as well as the print speed. So as you can see, it's very, very fast, as well as all the other data. And you can also turn on and off the LED. So if I would turn this off, and now the headlight, and also the observation light. But I think just the headlight is best for taking the time lapse. Oh yeah. So yeah, let's check out the result. And when it's done, this is how it will present us the print. Wow, really nice. Pretty strong adhesion. So we definitely don't need the glue stick. And that's the thing right here. So a bit of stringing, slight stringing, but other than that, especially from the top, the quality looks perfect. The upper side of the ship looks also really amazing. These distortions might be caused by this wobbly table. That's why I moved it to the floor. We'll check the quality of the other prints, but other than that, that's an outstanding result, especially for this crazy print speed. So next, okay, so we have this. We will simply print all of them. The flower pot. Wow, that's looking awesome. The tool holder and also the Buddha. Oh, this one is actually super fast, so let's start here. So as you can see, I'm currently printing all these models one after another, and even the big ones and even the large ones are done really fast. So let's check out the quality. Wow, now check this out. Done with all the prints from the USB stick that came with the printer. The brim and support materials are super easy to remove. You can just pull them off. Again, really nice quality. Sidewalls right there. We also have this functional part. So check this out. Great tolerances, super precise. This nutcracker. The little Buddha with all the details right there. Very nice. And what impressed me the most is by far the vase. The auto leveling works perfectly fine because as you can see, the first layer looks perfect. And also all these details right there. I mean, check this out. That's flawless. Extremely nice. But you can of course also go for your own parts. I'm using the Orca slicer with the Neptune 4 Max preset with the PLA. Straight out of the box, it's a free slicer, I can recommend it. And getting these parts off is also super easy thanks to the magnetic build plate. Look at that. Getting off the residue is super easy. This will pull off easily. And now look at this absolutely massive vase. Pretty much flawless. And that's still not even an eighth of what this printer can do. Extremely massive build volume. So yeah, pretty dope. The Neptune 4 Max gets a massive thumbs up from my side. Extreme value for this price point. Just amazing. So as you saw, great hardware, outstanding build quality. This system is mostly pre-built, so the whole setup was very straightforward and quick. The Neptune 4 has a very stable and durable frame. Low vibration, it's also great for transporting it. Yeah, and this makes such high printing speeds possible without any aberrations or distortions. And all those features and capabilities for such an amazing price point, it's unbelievable. Massive build volume, but we still get exact layer placement from the bottom to the top. Just a few years ago, a machine like this was unthinkable, especially for this price point. So Elegoo definitely came a long way, and this right here is a statement of their prowess. The Neptune 4 is an outstanding 3D printer, and the Max configuration right here makes it even better. So I would definitely recommend this config, especially if you can grab it now for such a low price. It's a no-brainer during the Black Friday mega sale, so go get it. First link in the description. Check it out, it is a mega value deal right there. Don't miss out because the Neptune 4 Max is a definitely drippy. Check out the product links in the description. I will link the best deals for you. But before you go, smash that like button, then subscribe, ring the bell and click all to never miss amazing tech magnet videos. That's it for this one. Enjoy your day and I will see you soon.